So how is everyone? I hope you're all well. I hope you're all looking forward to Santa coming and bringing you some amazing gifts. And for those who do not believe in Santa, I hope your spouses, partners are going to be treating you very well this year. But anyway, straight into the meat and potatoes. The Idaho student murder case. We've got two avenues that this seems to give you the choice of. And that is that this was done by a complete and utter stranger. This is someone who took advantage of the fact that they were not from this area. They came in from afar on a white steed or a Elantra, ventured into this little place, entered this house that was lucky enough to be unlocked, that the people that were in it were, asleep. They didn't put up a fight, despite the fact that this was a lone person, perhaps, and the house was full of, potentially could have walked into a house full of, American football players. But no, they happened to be able to pick a property that was predominantly female, just with one solitary male, and two of the females just wouldn't even be involved because the way that the building was built would render the fact that you could do what you did and the sound wouldn't carry through, so you were safe. It was safe to do all that, and they just managed to kind of be lucky enough that was the case. Or, and there is an or, and that is, or this was someone who was known to this group. It was someone who had issues with them. There was someone who the issues were so bad that it would lead them to believe that this was the only route that they could take. Now, whether that be because something had bubbled up and bubbled up and bubbled up, now that can only rarely be kind of what in my mind is someone who is getting angrier and angrier at watching something happen. And it gets to that boiling point where it explodes and it turns into this. Now, obviously, we've heard different pieces of audio and things like that, and that audio is not definitive, not by any stretch of the imagination. But something happened. Something did happen, and, this did take place. And if it wasn't this very, very lucky stranger who just happened to pick this house and managed to avoid being seen by anybody, really, I know we've got eyewitnesses for this white Hyundai Elantra, but I can't fathom out how nothing else picked up, like the dash cams on the police cars even. I know they were wearing their sort of their body cams, but the cars also have cameras in them. They have dash cams, and the body cams are always just in addition to. Now, then, when they were attending that alcohol-related incident close by, the car was up on the road. So in theory, the dash cam in the police car should have caught the Elantra, and that would have no doubt seen the plate, surely. But, this car managed to get in, get out, get away. But look, something triggered this. And if it wasn't the stranger, this lucky stranger, and it was something around this place itself, and there's only so many things, like I say, that would do this, and that is this jealousy, this thing that boils up inside someone and it erupts. Or something is said or something is found out, and that person then fears that someone could potentially say something or do something that would impact them. So they are then put on a clock to stop that. And this is where we then look at the likes of connections to the Hudson Lindau case. Now, Hudson Lindau was someone, he was a freshman who had drowned earlier on in the year. And some of the people inside this house attended a party the night before he drowned and were in attendance. We've seen connections to Hannah Claire, another student who sadly passed away earlier on in the year. And then you listen to the social media posts and the things that some people are saying. And look, they could be trolls, of course they could. They could be people who are just saying things because they know it will get attention. And I'll be doing a video on that later in Harsh. And look, but when people are saying people know why this happened, people know why this was done, when you do something to someone who is from this place and not just come into this place through the education system, that then raises eyebrows, because I'm not buying the stranger, even though it could be, I could be completely wrong. But I don't see it being a stranger. I don't see it being someone who just happened to come in from afar on the off chance and stumble across their dream scenario where they can go in, do this heinous act and get away. I've said time and time and again, this is something personal. This is something ferocious. But if it wasn't something that simmered over time and exploded, then could it have been something that was found out and they were then put on a clock? But someone around this situation knows something. And is it connected to one of the numerous things that have happened around this seemingly, trouble-free area, if law enforcement are going to be the lead of their tourist information? Haven't seen a murder or anything like this since 2015. Remember, this whole place is built on the university. That is the biggest employer, 11,000 students of 25,000 residents. It is the biggest employer. It brings in all of the money. Bad for business. I'll catch you all in the next one.